What up, Space Fam? Goes in here from AniArtes. I'm back at it again to discuss the latest crazy updates in the Dragon Ball Super story. And this chapter was very weird, but also very hype. So make sure to stay tuned for this one. If you do enjoy these Dragon Ball Super chapter reviews and want to keep them coming, you know what to do. Channel the same within and smash that like button with no mercy. Smashing his Goku energy and passing his Yamcha energy. So, choose wisely. If you haven't, make this the video you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications or you will miss future Dragon Ball Super videos and updates. Now, without further ado, let's jump into it, spoilers and all. So this chapter continues with the fight against evolved Gas and Goku, where obviously Goku can only stall and doesn't actually have the power to beat him yet. Vegeta got a power up this arc, an epic one, but Goku still didn't, which is something to keep in mind. And the way Dragon Ball usually works is that Goku defeats the strong opponent at the end of the day. And although I wish it was Vegeta this time around, it seems like they might be going for Goku yet again, but more on that later. Goku's gotta resort to some tricks because of the nature of the power gap between them. He's using instant teleportation and Gas is following him, but he's not as skilled at it as Goku is. We got more comedy in the middle of this fight than I expected. In one case, mud gets poured on Gas as they are teleporting, and Goku even chides him for being so reckless. We see Monaka and it's clear that Goku is using the key signatures he recognizes to teleport from faraway place to faraway place, while Gas doesn't know these people, so he can only chase after Goku. He then appears before the Galactic King, who's having a bath. This guy always gets wrapped up in naked jokes. And this time, Gas straight up falls into the bathtub. Goku is getting a kick out of this, saying it's the perfect time for a bath after the mud incident. It's nice to see that even if he's not stronger now, Goku is not helpless and is actually using his skill and experience to embarrass the stronger Gas in different ways. Back to Vegeta, who realizes that Goku is buying time by jumping from planet to planet, while the Heaters are wondering where they are and decide to get a look at Gas's position via his tracker. Next thing we know, Goku has brought Gas into the galactic prison. Gas gets a good kick on Goku, but then the chapter takes the weirdest turn, dude. As Goku is asking if Gas is ready to admit that Goku is better than him at instant teleportation, the prisoners start talking. They want Gas to let them out, but he doesn't, thinking he doesn't need their help. So what happens? The prisoners bring up how the first time they met Gas wet himself. When I was first reading this, I was like, really? That's the approach they're going for? And you can tell how childish at heart Gas still is despite his power, because he actually gets riled up saying he did not urinate on himself. If anyone ever says you wet yourself, you just ignore them and carry on doing what you were doing. You don't stop and have a pointless back and forth about it, but that's exactly what Gas does. The prisoners see they struck a nerve and start pretty much calling him a coward, saying he totally wet himself, and he was even calling to his brother to help him and saying he was scared. At this point, hilariously, even Goku is like, is that true? I've never seen "is that" spelled with 2 Z's, but props to the manga translators for getting creative. You have arguably the strongest dude in the world getting super upset saying there was no urination involved. And then the prisoner says something weirder, refusing to drop it. He asks, what was that wet stain about? Does your tribe cry out of their crotches? And the other prisoner is like, sick burn, man. This exchange sounds like I traveled back in time to my elementary school playground. I wonder if people still actually talk like this. But anyways, Gas keeps getting more and more heated, and finally admits that in fact he did wet himself. Although he says it doesn't count because it was only a few drops because he was holding it back for so long. Any fear that this dude might have instilled in us has completely evaporated at this point. I'm not saying every villain has to be fearsome, but they clearly decide to focus on comedy rather than a cool, intimidating villain here. Anyways, after Goku is like, dang, you really did wet yourself, huh? We move on to the Heaters figuring out that they are at the galactic prison, and Elec calls him an idiot, probably guessing what's happening. Then Goku and Gas teleport once again, and Goku harps on the other thing Gas was criticized for, asking, so you only do everything your big brother says. For Goku, this is ridiculous because Gas is way stronger and can make his own choices, and yet Gas chooses to just obey his brother. Elec is the true villain in this arc, even if he's not the strongest, and at this point, Gas just feels like a glorified henchman. He even says he seeks power for Elec's sake alone. He wants to make the Heaters the supreme organization in the universe, and that's just because his brother wants that. It's interesting when Gas says he was once the weakest among them and he credits Elec for raising him to this level. And because of that, he says he would do anything for him. Goku then raises the question that I've been emphasizing for a while, whether Gas can trust Elec. Goku points out that his brother almost killed him a while back, and you gotta appreciate the Raditz reference here. Man, I miss Raditz. Goku just tells Gas to watch his back, and it's good advice for such a childish and naive character. Back to the heaters, and they plan to finish off everyone left on the planet because they're already half dead. So Monaito and Granola look like they're in big trouble. As Goku continues teleporting, he realizes he's badly hurt from defending and knows he can't play defense much longer. He suddenly gets excited and teleports to where Whis is. He clearly sensed his key. Goku then tells Whis to watch Gas for a second and then pieces out and teleports backwards quickly all the way to the planet Cereal. And he did it so fast that now he's too far away for the inexperienced Gas to sense him. In other words, Gas is stuck as Goku appears in the nick of time to save Monaito and Granola from the heaters. Whis looks amused as usual and tells Gas that Goku is back to Cereal and it's too great a distance for Gas to warp directly there. I love how Goku played him here despite being weaker. No one can say Goku is stupid when it comes to battles. What I didn't necessarily like is that Whis appears to actually tell Gas the right direction to planet Cereal, which I feel like he didn't have to do. Gas then starts going there by flying with superhuman speed. Another highlight is that the Oracle Fish says who was that, which can be read as a funny moment, but also suggests that Gas is not actually the strongest mortal fighter in the universe that he was prophesizing about. The strongest warrior that will soon rise may in fact be Vegeta, or as is suggested by the end of the chapter, Goku. That's how I read it, but let me know if you have some other thoughts on this in the comments or if I missed anything. Who do you think is the strongest warrior that will soon rise, the one of prophecy? Back to Goku, who takes Granola and them to safety. Oatmeal is like a Star Wars robot pet now and helps them out. The heaters let them go because Elec knows they are no match for Goku right now. Then, through a communication device Whis planted on Goku, they talk. Whis is not happy with his dessert time being interrupted, but Goku brings up a great point, saying he was just the right distance away and you, Gas, would have to behave around someone like Whis. Then Whis says Gas is approaching him at breakneck speed. And again, why you have to tell him the direction, Whis? Not cool. Whis didn't have to help Goku obviously, but he didn't have to help Gas either. Whis says Gas will reach them in 20 minutes, so they got about enough time for one anime episode that hopefully includes a Bardock flashback. Monaito says it's not enough time to heal Granola, again emphasizing that Goku or Vegeta will have to step it up. We get some very interesting stuff here. Whis is wondering how Goku is doing, and Goku explains he can't keep his heart calm the way Whis does. And Whis says, yeah, since angels are fundamentally different life forms from Goku, who is a Saiyan as we know. Then Whis says it is up to Goku to discover his own unique version of Ultra Instinct. He says, listen to the voice within you. Deep down, what are you really? And then, as if to answer that question, Monaito interrupts saying, hey, son of Bardock, there's something I have to show you. So it seems clear that Goku's next version of Ultra Instinct will be tied to his Saiyan nature, which is very exciting because it would be an opportunity to revamp the Super Saiyan 4 look, or at least for Goku to take on more cool Saiyan/ape looking attributes. I know for many people Super Saiyan 4 is their favorite design, so this could be a perfect instance to draw inspiration from it in a canon series. We know Dragon Ball is based off of Journey to the West, and Goku is based off of the Monkey King, so combining monkey attributes as well as god attributes like the Monkey King does would be a very logical progression from this point. We find out that Bardock Scouter recorded his battle with Gas back in the day, so now our guys can actually watch it and figure out how to beat Gas. Although it doesn't work at first, Oatmeal ends up being able to play the audio. We briefly get the heaters calling Gas the ultimate being now, and then we return to our guys listening to the recording. Goku actually hears his father's voice, which is crazy to think about. As we hear Bardock say to Monaito that he and Granola have to stay alive, Goku gets a flashback of Bardock and his mom telling him he has to stay alive. The blocked off memory and history awakens something in Goku, and then we see what we can only assume is a new power and at least the beginning of the new form I mentioned. It's very reminiscent of when a Saiyan looks at the moon and starts their Great Ape transformation, and that appears to be it for this epic chapter. For some reason, Viz also gave us some scenes from the next chapter, which will be a flashback and showing us the Bardock versus Granola fight, which I'm super hyped about as well. They obviously don't give us any huge reveals in this teaser, but Gas does give Bardock props for being a powerful fighter. And to his credit, he does kick Gas around a bit, however he's not super optimistic, saying he'll slow Gas down rather than stop him. And it doesn't look good for him, which leads me to believe that he might awaken a new form to stop Gas. Bardock even mentions that Gas is a monster at this point, and his attacks didn't even scratch Gas. And Gas, as usual, wants to win to keep his brother happy. And that is it for this one. Very hype. We have Bardock's fight to look forward to and Goku's new power-up, which I am very glad to say looks like it will call back to his roots as a Saiyan. Let me know your thoughts on this chapter. Who was your MVP? If you did enjoy this review and want to keep them coming, you know what to do. Channel the same within and smash that like button. Smashing is Goku energy and passing is Yamcha energy, so choose wisely. If you haven't, make this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications, or you will miss future Dragon Ball Super videos and updates. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.